Tonight at the BBC Proms, two global superstars will take to this stage to bring us epic poetry from Sibelius, Liszt and Strauss. We'll venture through dark forests, peek inside the plushest salons of Budapest in the 19th century and take an action-packed romp through sunny Bavarian mountains. But forget all the grandeur and magnificence. One instrument is likely to steal the show. Welcome to the BBC Proms. Hello and welcome back to the nation's village hall. I've got two names for you. Yuja Wang and Klaus Makela. That's right, the most rock and roll renegade pianist in the world and the hottest young conductor on the scene, hailed as a new voice in contemporary classical music. Together, they're dynamite, and they're joined by their Norwegian friends, the Oslo Philharmonic. Klaus and Yuja bring us a romantic evening featuring Sibelius's Tapiola, Liszt's first piano concerto, and Ein Heldenleben, A Hero's Life, a swashbuckling ego trip adventure by Richard Strauss. And keeping me company, up here in the gallery of the Royal Albert Hall, another dynamic pairing, the legendary frontman, pianist, arranger, and epic prog rocker. Yes, it's Rick Wakeman, and award-winning comedian, composer, and associate at the Royal Academy of Music, Vicky Stone. It's great to have you both here.
Thanks.
Great to see you. Rick, you're no stranger to the Royal Albert Hall and South Kensington, are you?
No, I know it well. I was lucky enough to be a student at the Royal College of Music, literally a few steps away. And when I left to pursue, at that time, a career as a session musician, my clarinet professor, Basil Tchaikovsky, actually said to me, when you leave here, walk across the road, climb up the steps, go round to the front of the Albert Hall, look back up and go, that's my next stop.
Absolutely. Well, look at this. This is you in the first blush of youth. And I'm just wondering, Rick, how many keyboards is too many keyboards?
You can never have too many.
You can never have too many.
I mean, there's an element of safety in it. But back then, when that was done, most keyboards basically did one job.
Okay.
So you needed them all to do the different jobs. Nowadays, they do many more jobs, but I still have the same amount of keyboards.
Indeed, you might as well have as many as you can. Vicky, welcome back to the Proms. You're a regular with us, of course. Have you been ever tempted to sort of walk out of the door of a college during music and not return?
I spent my childhood, and I went to music school, and I spent my childhood playing the flute to a really high level, and I just got to the point where I was in an orchestra and I thought, the flute's at the back and I want to be at the front and I want to do other stuff. So yeah, I did. I was like, no thanks for the flute. And that was that.
That was that. Well, we've got three heroic composers for you tonight. The chap on the left, Sibelius. Anti-hero, drank too much, shaved his head, national hero of Finland. We've got Liszt in the middle, and then of course we've got Richard Strauss at the end there. Well, making his debut performance here at the Proms is the Finnish conductor Klaus Makela. Klaus arrived in London just last night and headed straight here to South Kensington to do some vital pre-concert prep with Tom Service.
Cheers, Klaus.
Cheers. Lovely to see you.
Look, welcome. Look, I know the Royal Albert Hall was important, but this is pretty well everyone's office during the summer. You're just off a plane. Does your schedule allow you enough time for beer, or do you only do it for the cameras?
I love a good beer.
Is a cello easier to take on a plane than a baton, or does a baton also present problems?
For the baton, you have to put it in the luggage, and then
you have to put it in the luggage.
Yes, because it's so sharp. And I just broke one last month, and I feel that I'm a completely different conductor now. When I lost my perfect baton, I've done my grief, and now I have a different one.
And what's distinctive and different about Oslo then?
The Oslo holds a very, very special place in my heart, and that was my first orchestra, and they showed an enormous amount of trust for me when I was very young and, to be honest, very unexperienced. The love and warmth they showed me from the very beginning was something which really meant a lot to me, and they feel like my family. In a weird sense, they feel like all my kids.
Look, we better get these done because I want to do my tour guide bit and show you the Royal Albert Hall, because you haven't been into the Royal Albert Hall.
Never in my life.
And I promise you, it's a place of musical community, a musical family. It's not only the family on stage; it will be the audience, and it will be everyone watching as well. Klaus, cheers. We can make light work of these. Finnish and Scottish. Come on. Klaus, you're soon going to be doing it in this place.
It's quite a special place.
But you see the scale of it. Is there a tingle of fear, anticipation, excitement?
I think it's great. I think it's wonderful to have such a beautiful place for music and art.
I agree with you. Well, look, I'm thrilled as a tour guide to be taking you there. I don't get to do this very often, actually. So we're going round where all the people are.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Colosseum,
Yeah.
like it's exactly like Rome. It's a gladiatorial thing. Oh, look at this.
Oh, right. Wow, this is very nice. Yeah. I should come here more often.
Yes, you should. I suspect you will be. But look, I mean, it's this thing about it being all around us. And look, you see, I mentioned, look at the arches all around. I mean, they are all, you know.
It's a beautiful space, absolutely. And I love the atmosphere. Yeah.
You feel like wherever you are in this hall, that it's kind of a hug somehow. It's a really embrace. But the first music you play is the opposite of a hug. I mean,
true.
Tapiola is like a
Yeah,
freezing landscape of complete oblivion.
It's true.
Why are you starting with that? And
I think that's actually the perfect piece to start here, because there we introduce kind of the real sound of our orchestra. Of course, with the Strauss you have all the warmth and the greatness, and of course the massive orchestra with 8 horns and so many trumpets and everything. So it's a beautiful space. It truly is. Tomorrow morning, of course, we'll work very hard here. We have 3 hours to work and experience the acoustic and experiment with it. And I'm really, really looking forward. It will be a very memorable evening for me. I hope for the audience too.
Klaus and Tom, they're enjoying a pint. Well, Klaus brings with him a work by fellow Finn Jean Sibelius, a titan of 19th and 20th century music, hailed by Finns as their national composer. Sibelius led a somewhat colourful life. He had a penchant for fine dining and fast living. He loved lobster. He loved smoking, drinking and gambling. An interesting chap. Bit of a rocker by all accounts. I'm not sure why I'm thinking about you at this point, Rick. But Vicky, Sibelius' Tapiola, it's famously a tone poem. What is a tone poem?
So a tone poem is something where it's a piece of music that doesn't follow any particular form, and it invites the listener to kind of imagine something, and something often specific. Sometimes it's described as like listening to film music, but without a film. And Sibelius wrote 12 tone poems, often about Finland and its mythology.
Mythology. Rick, just tell us, Tapio, what does it mean?
Tapiola is in Finnish mythology. It's a kingdom, and there's Tapio was the god of the forest, which was quite an amazing place. He had lots of sort of elf-like creatures that sort of guarded and looked after and did various bits and pieces there, and it's quite an amazing place to be.
Very Tolkien indeed, and the audience now applauding the entrance of the conductor Klaus Makela, making his prom's debut tonight. The Norwegian musicians behind him all ready to go. Huge ensemble for this beast of a piece, Sibelius' Tapiola. The still beauty there of the forest lying bare, fierce and spellbinding. The Oslo Philharmonic under the baton of Klaus Makela with Sibelius's Tapiola. In his own words, he talked of dusky forests, ancient, mysterious, brooding, savage dreams. A glimpse into that forest there. And it was terrifyingly beautiful, wasn't it? I'd quite like to go there, though, I have to say. Rick, did you see the god Tapio there in that?
Absolutely, I was sitting there with him. It's a brilliant piece of music. It's so visual, and their interpretation, I think, was quite stunning.
And the orchestra on their feet, acknowledging the applause of a packed house here at the Royal Albert Hall. A magnificent performance there of Jean Sibelius's work. Vicky, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, Klaus came out with such a glint in his eye that he was going to give us, he knew what he was going to give us. And it was so simultaneously highly detailed but also playful, particularly in the opening where you've got this real conversation between the winds and the strings. There was such a play, such a sense of like he knew that he had this magic to give to us.
Yeah, the colours, absolutely incredible that he brought out there. Well, from the ancient forests of Finland, we journey south to the salons of Budapest. Next up, it's Franz Liszt's Piano Concerto No. 1. I feel like I need a bit of an epic prog rock intro for our soloist tonight. Ideally, the ground would open up and the piano would rise out of the ashes, with Yuja Wang doing a power lunge. Okay, I'm getting a bit carried away now. But she said herself that she feels like a rock god when she plays the prom. She's notorious for challenging the status quo in terms of dress, style, flair, showmanship while she's playing the keyboard. Rick, again, I don't know why, but I'm drawn towards you whenever I talk about that, and I'd just like to bring this up.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now that is showmanship indeed. More is more, clearly.
More is even more. I mean, people forget sometimes that all music in concert is not just hearing and listening, which is incredibly important, but the eyes are important, what you see. And you've got to enjoy what you see and have fun with what you see. And Yuja is brilliant at that. She is certainly a different class when it comes to outrageous dressing.
Well, I'm not sure about that compared to that, mate. But I have to say, you did score the music for the 1975 cult classic Lisztomania, starring Roger Daltrey. There he is as Franz Liszt. Tell us more about Franz Liszt, the person.
He was a rock and roll star of the day, like a lot of the touring pianists and other instrumentalists were. They went around touring around Europe, taking their music. That was the first time people heard it, because of course there's no recordings or anything like that. And he was a bit of a rock god wherever he went. Good-looking man, attracted the ladies, and there are all sorts of stories. And how many are true, I don't know. But there's one of the stories is that when he returned to cities in European countries 2 or 3 years later, after being there the first time, he was met often or not with women pushing prams. And so not a lot has changed these days.
Well, indeed, potentially.
But how bad?
Yeah, how bad indeed. I mean, Vicky, I just wonder about the orchestration of this piece. Tell me about it.
Clive, we've got to talk about the triangle. We really have. And I've been concealing one here in the folds of my chair.
One you made earlier.
Well, so something we've got to listen out for in this piece is there's a great bit that's got loads of orchestration from the winds and there's loads going on, but actually the only thing that really stands out is the triangle. It's this semi-quaver motif, which I'm going to do. Sounds a bit like an alarm. I should also apologise to my husband, who is a percussionist and will be judging me now. But we've got this kind of like digga-digga-ding. I'm not doing it justice.
Okay.
It's meant to go
digga-digga-ding, and then you stop it straight away.
You're meant to dampen it, yeah.
Straight away.
I think my technique is bad. I'm not going to get my B-Muzz triangle today, but...
That's it. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's got a triangle in it, this piece. Of course, as we've heard, but it's also got the superstar pianist Yuja Wang. Let's hear from the woman herself.
London vibe. Tea. I just love the accent so much, and I get very confused with the car directions. So I don't know. I just got here. I love taking a walk, just get some fresh air, get the vibes of the city, and clear my head before I get to the dark room of the stage. Yeah. I actually first played the concerto when I was 17, and then now I come back. This season I've been playing it a lot. It's like an old friend that I haven't seen for a long time. It's really operatic, it's theatrical, it's pretty farcical. How music moves me, touches me. It's so cliche, but it is something that is so much more direct than any language, and it just goes straight to your heart, and you don't even know how to say it, right? And lots of people, come after the concert, oh, I'm speechless. It's like, yeah, I know what you mean.
And there's the piano ready for its soloist tonight. The orchestra just tuning up there. And the triangle player, Henning Vallerbjorg. He's limbered up too. He's ready for tonight's performance. As hush descends at the Royal Albert Hall as we await the entrance. And we're all wondering what she's going to be wearing, given that her costumes at concerts are very, very carefully thought out. To reveal her fiery nature and her rock god status as she has proclaimed herself. Liszt, of course, Rick, you know very well from the film that you made.
Yeah.
And he's going to get quite a performance tonight, wherever he is. Perhaps in the heavens. And there we are. Yuja Wang, the inimitable pianist there, making her entrance here at the Royal Albert Hall. She hasn't played a note yet, but that is quite a reception. Klaus Makler there to conduct the Oslo Philharmonic. A rip-roaring, thundering Yuja Wang dominating the stage there, combining flash and fiendishly fast fingers with tender, delicate moments of sublime intimacy. She liked to joke that her mother wanted her to be a dancer, but she was too lazy, so she chose the piano instead, so she could sit down. Well, there was nothing lazy about tonight's performance. The applause filling this hall with the Oslo Philharmonic there, and Yuja Wang in Liszt's first piano concerto. Rick, I'm going to turn to you now as a fellow musician. You're a keyboard man. Yuja is superb. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was sensational. She gave everything I think that Liszt could ever have wanted and a lot more. You summed it up. There were delicate moments, powerful moments. It's a very hard piece to play. It's full on all the time. There's no respite anywhere. And she just threw herself in. She was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Vicky, the charisma, it filled the hall. We could feel it up here from our position. I mean, the delight that she seemed to get from performing that piece as well. Here she is, back on stage. Your thoughts?
I think that the way that she's just unapologetically herself. She just comes out, she's like, here's me, here's all of me. She's fabulous, she's so feminine, and it's wonderful to watch.
Yeah, she is. I'm pretty sure I know what the audience want here. They want more. And is she going to grant them their wish? Yes, I think she is. Electrifying, fiendishly difficult. Yuja Wang with her encore there, wowing the crowd. The fabulous arrangements of Bizet's Carmen by Vladimir Horowitz. Well, the critics actually declared Horowitz the greatest pianist dead or alive in 1933. I suspect Yuja Wang has something to say about that in 2022. Yuja Wang and the Oslo Philharmonic with Liszt's first piano concerto to begin with, and that encore, Bizet's Carmen. The audience here, Rick, they just can't get enough.
No, they want more. I think they'd happily skip the interval. I really do.
Yeah, they are. I think we should skip the interval too, frankly. And here she is again, back on stage. A wonderful, wonderful performance. And who knows, maybe a second encore? I don't know. That would be too much. Too much for this audience. But I know it's what they want, and she's going to grant their wish again. Rapturous applause again. This time for Yuja's interpretation of Gluck's opera Orfeo and Eurydice. My word, the audience getting a real treat tonight. Two encores. Yuja is actually famed for her encores, often deciding on the day, on the spur of the moment, whatever the mood takes her. She's free to take on the world, she says in her encores, and the proms audience absolutely love that. Vicky, the encores.
I mean,
Just them on their own.
what a contrast. The showmanship of the Bizet of the first one, and then moving through into the Gluck. It was just like like putting them side by side. The bravery to come out with that stillness on a second encore. Beautiful. Such lovely, lovely choices.
I mean, it's interesting you pick up on the contrast there, showing the variety and the breadth and the colour of her playing. That's what she really wanted to get across, and she did it in 2 short pieces right at the end.
Yeah. I think she's one of those players that you actually associate with the bigger performances, and actually to see something so intimate after taking us from 0 to absolutely beyond 100%. She is the Beyonce of classical music, in my opinion. To take us to such an intimate place at the end was glorious.
Yeah, this full house here at the Albert Hall, and of course Henning. He was pretty good on the triangle. I think he's getting a bit of an applause.
I mean, if he wants a day off,
well
I'm ready.
Liszt.
I was close. We can all agree on that.
There
I'm
he
sure.
is. There he is. Brilliant work. As I say, the audience, they'd like her to come out again. They want a third encore. Maybe 2 is the limit for tonight.
It could go on.
So we're now in the interval. The musicians are having a breather. Sure, they need it. And the proms audience are doing a quick dash for ice cream. It has been a hot day and a very hot evening. Let's look forward to our next piece, a masterwork written in the Bavarian mountains in the 1890s, full of bombast and heroism. Essentially a self-portrait of a heroic composer writing about himself, writing about his wife, and even quoting fragments of his own music. We're just wondering, actually, if Yuja Wang is going to come out again. We better keep our eye on the stage, and I think she actually is going to be coming out. The audience here treated to not 1 but 2 encores. Is it going to be a third? I don't know. But they are demanding, stomping their feet, that she comes out again. The Oslo Philharmonic, of course. Wonderful in the opening 2 pieces from the program. And the audience here have done it. They've got magical powers, the Royal Albert Hall folk. They've managed to bring Yuja Wang out again.
It looks like she was halfway changed. She's back in her dressing room, was just getting undressed, and had to pop a top on and come out.
The applause there of the audience, and quite right too, it has to be said, no question. It has been a delightful evening of virtuoso playing by one of the stars of the classical music world. My word, we thought we were going to get 3 encores there.
Yeah.
Not quite, but 2. Pretty damn good. So, we're going to go on after the interval to our next piece. And it's another tone poem, this time from Richard Strauss. Vicky, tell us about it.
So we've got a second tone poem in the programme. And this one is very much centred on the hero's journey. So it's said to be about Strauss himself. It's divided into 6 movements, but they are played through continuously, so there aren't gaps in between the movements. 2 in particular to look out for. So it's about the hero's journey, Strauss himself. The second one is about the hero's adversaries, which is said to be Strauss's critics. So he riled up the critics, and there's a movement about one of them. And then the third one is about the hero's companion, which is his wife. And something to listen out for is a violin melody, which is meant to kind of depict his wife's different moods. So all of her various moods are sort of depicted in this third movement.
Yes, I mean, it's called, of course, If Ein Heldenleben. Some have suggested that tone poems are almost like the scores to movies, to films. And I just wonder if that is the case here, potentially.
Well, yeah, because we've got the protagonist, so you've got your hero, you've got your kind of like, let's take it in sort of Star Wars terms. If the film is Darth Vader, if the film is Star Wars, then we've got Luke Skywalker as Strauss, we've got Darth Vader as the critics, and Princess Leia as his wife. You know, that's what's going on here. That's.
Indeed. You talked actually about Strauss's wife, and here she is. With that violin motif that we're going to hear in the piece.
Pauline Arne, and she was an operatic soprano, and apparently they had a tempestuous relationship.
Well, of course. What else would it have been?
Yeah, of course it was.
He's a famous composer, isn't he? I wonder, Rick, as well. I mean, the power of this piece and the idea of the composer himself as the hero. I mean, is that something that's the power that composers have? They can obviously write themselves into whatever they like.
They can indeed. They can do a Hitchcock. He was in every one of his films, and the composer can put himself into every piece of his music. I mean, Richard Strauss often claimed that it wasn't about him, but it blatantly obviously is. And I think it's an interesting piece because he has a chance to really paint pictures of a lot of his life, including his wife and, as you said, his adversaries. Isn't that something we'd all like to do? In fact, I might go away and write something about all the people who've been nasty to me over the years.
I actually wrote a song once about a bad review I had. So I've been there. I've been there.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to do it. It'll be a very long piece.
I look forward to it. I mean, how, Vicky, did tone poems actually push the boundaries of the classical form?
Well, I think, tone poems were very much a kind of thing of the Romantic era, and prior to that, composers were very much writing in form and writing sort of in symphonic form, and felt like they had to stick to these fairly rigid musical rules. And in tone poem, tone poem is a form in itself, so it's not quite throwing all the rules out the window, but it did give composers a sense of freedom, and music is kind of used in a slightly different way, and they can take things in different directions. So even though it's a form, a tone poem, it did give a sense of musical freedom in a time where structure was really everything to a composer.
And I should say that we have a surprise tonight coming in to our little studio here, perched above the Royal Albert Hall. It's Yuja Wang. Yuja,
Hi.
Wonderful to see you. You were absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely
Lovely to be
amazing.
here.
Thank you so much for joining us. How was it for you? Did you
It's
enjoy
great.
it down
went
there?
really quick.
Went very, very quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, how are you
hot day.
feeling now?
I could totally play it again.
They wanted you to play it again. They managed to drag you out for two.
I said that. I said
That was
in the
I was
dressing
ready
room.
for this. And yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, really
Really
good.
well,
I mean,
yeah.
they wanted you to play another encore. Two
Yeah.
is enough. Two is enough.
I'm
We
known
don't-
for playing lots of encores, so I think they're expecting that.
They expected that,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, tell us about your sort of preparation for this evening.
I went to the Hyde Park.
Yeah?
It was extremely hot. And I just played the piano a little bit, and yeah.
And that was it. And tell us about working with Klaus.
What
How's
do I
that?
do with Klaus?
Working with Klaus. How was that?
It was great. We started this year. It's just very in tune of each other, and yeah, as you can see with his concerto, he's right there all the time, and it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you did seem very in sync. How does he bring out the best in you as a soloist, do you think?
Well, the piece itself is pretty flirty, so that helps.
Oh. Hello.
I mean, it's Liszt. It's a quite light piece, but we are going to work more on like Brahms coming up and Ravel and more serious, substantial music together. Yeah.
So the two of you are going to be working together much more in the future?
I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I've got a quick fire round for all of you now. You've just come off stage, Yuja. You've just finished.
Yeah.
The audience absolutely loved you. What's your favorite drink after a performance?
Vodka.
Vodka? In copious amounts or limited amounts?
Not really limited.
Okay. Vicky, what's your favorite drink after a performance?
Fizz.
Fizz?
Yeah. Old
Champagne?
school. Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Rick?
Terribly boring. Cup of tea. I'm not.
British.
What's that, sorry?
How British you did.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they took the drinking pleasure away in 1985.
All right, okay.
So
okay.
it's a cup of tea, I'm afraid.
It's a cup of tea, right? Okay, so most outrageous outfit you've ever worn on stage?
They're all outrageous.
They're all outrageous. Okay, that's fair enough, Vicky.
I once had an outfit made of my Cocker Spaniel Bert, so I dressed as a spaniel.
You dressed as a spaniel.
As a spaniel, yes.
Okay, okay. This is proving to be a very interesting conversation. Rick, your most outrageous outfit?
I wear sequin capes on stage, so it doesn't get more outrageous than a sequin cape.
I know. We saw a picture earlier on, mate.
Yeah, you did.
Pretty outrageous and fabulous. Okay, final quick round question. And please answer honestly, okay? How many hours do you practice for? How
Today-
many hours a
today
day
was
do
like
you
half
practice for?
half an hour.
Half an hour today?
Today, yes.
Okay, usually, when you're not performing.
About that.
Okay,
Yeah.
half an hour.
I mean, I did have a whole year of pandemic, so.
So you practiced all the way through that?
No, I didn't touch the piano for a year.
You didn't touch it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice. It's really refreshing. You know, you forget the physical part of the music.
Okay, Vicky?
I mean, I spent 4 hours practicing that triangle earlier, but that was largely wasted. That was clearly a waste of time. That wasn't me, by the way, earlier. I just have to clarify that.
Yeah, that might have been me. But anyway. Okay, so how many hours then when you're playing the flute?
When I was a kid, it was 4 hours a day.
4 hours
it
a
was
day.
2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, but not anymore.
Not
I mean,
anymore.
like
Yeah.
I will play a bit of flute at Christmas, and that's it.
All right, Rick.
Well, it depends what you call practice. I mean, I sit at the piano every day, and some days it's dark when I'm still playing, and other days you just play for a very short while.
Yeah.
When you're doing concerts and you're out on tour, it's just purely the rehearsal time and then the concerts. Obviously, when I was younger, it was 3-4 hours a day. I can't go too long without playing. Traveling sometimes 2 or 3 days.
All right. Okay, Yuja, just one quick final question for you. What is it like playing this hall? What is it like playing here in the proms?
Amazing. It's just amazing. I'm overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Well, it's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for coming up just after you finished playing to a packed house
Yeah.
here. Thank you very much
Thank you.
indeed.
Thank
it's great to see you. Thank you.
See you
Well
later.
done.
Yeah, bye.
Well, the orchestra now tuning up, ready to take on Strauss's Ein Heldenleben. Do listen out for the heroic horns representing Strauss himself and the coquettish violin, which signify the presence of his wife. The Oslo Philharmonic Orchestra ready to perform this epic tone poem. And here he is, Klaus Makala, conductor of the Oslo Philharmonic here. A brilliant performance leading the Liszt at the beginning of the program, and now it's Strauss. Klaus Makala and the Oslo Philharmonic, taking us on an action-packed, swashbuckling adventure with Richard Strauss. Bombastic, swaggering, heroic, but at the same time, moments of flirtatiousness from the solo violin there. A representation, of course, of Strauss's wife, charming and teasing, utterly enchanting. And there, the concert master of the Oslo Philharmonic, Alicia Bortnes, quite rightly, getting her applause. I've got to ask you guys, Rick, Vicky, Rick, amazing stuff. And really woman, Vic, Alicia Bortnes again, acknowledging, Principal horn there, Inga Besserudhagen. And the woodwind section, they're all taking their bows, contributing masterfully to this wonderful performance of Strauss's. And the horn section too, providing that fire in the belly of the piece. He's getting them all to stand up, and quite rightly. And the audience too on its feet. The timpanist there. Tom Wiesgren, principal timpanist. And the whole orchestra now on its feet. What an evening of music. Beginning, of course, with Tapiola, going through to Liszt, and that #1 piano concerto with Yuja Wang. And they're stamping their feet now. And then Strauss's wonderful piece there, and here comes, we hope, an encore.
It's also by Strauss, but it's Johann Strauss. It's a Zanda.
Another Strauss, Johann this time, the second, and that gorgeous Shadash from his ballet Ritter Pasman. And the Oslo Philharmonic, led by Klaus Makala with that wonderful encore. I was hoping to bring Rick and Vicky in a little bit earlier, but the audience were having none of it. None of it. What did you make of that, Vicky?
Oh, well, we have to talk about the first Strauss first. I think for me, because obviously I spoke about the anticipation of the third movement with the solo violin, that was gorgeous. But really for me, it was the fourth movement that really got me, the hero on the battlefield. You know, starting with that offstage trumpet, there was a real sense in the hall of where were they? And then to end with the other Strauss. What a fun encore for this fantastic Proms debut.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, we must make that point that it's Klaus's debut here at the Royal Albert Hall. Rick, your impressions?
I think that the audience deserve their own standing ovation because Proms audiences are quite unique. They bring the best out in all the musicians on the stage. You speak to anybody in that orchestra who are here for the first time, and they will tell you what a difference a Proms audience make. You can hear them. They could be here all night quite happily. It brings the best out of musicians. And I think the whole evening was just a great program, great musicianship, great everything.
Yeah. And Klaus is out again, acknowledging the warmth there, carried on a tide of affection, really, as Rick indicated there, really giving energy to the performance tonight. Well, we ventured deep into the forest with Sibelius. We've had a flashy keyboard soiree in the salons of Budapest with Franz Liszt, and we've gone on our own action adventure with Richard Strauss. I'd like to thank Rick Wakeman and Vicky Stone for joining us. What a wonderful journey it's been. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for joining us on this epic ride with Klaus, Yuja, and the Oslo Philharmonic. Thank you, and good night.